All right, so I want to keep building on this model here. And one thing I want to do is I want to make it unique across the starting date or the starting on and the range and the user. So, and the reason for that is because it's going to the when this is all said and done, the total model, it's going to use the starting on date as the way it calculates the total distance and the total duration for whatever the range is. So I guess you can think of it kind of like there's only 52 weeks in a year, which means there should only be 52 records per user per year per week for that represent a total. And that might be a little hard to follow, but basically a user should only be associated with, at the most, one total record per week per year. And the way to do that is to do a uniqueness scope. And what I want to do for that is I'll just write the test, and then this will fail, and then we can build around that. So should be unique across user, starting on, and range. And it needs to be these three things, because if it was just the user and the starting on, that wouldn't necessarily work for if we do a range of a month or a year, because it's possible the starting on date could also be the start of a month and a year and a week all at the same time. So the range is what's going to matter there. So I'm actually going to go ahead and we'll save this total. And the range was week. So what I'll do now is I'm just going to pretty much copy this. So then I'll just call it duplicate total. And we're just going to assert that it's not valid. And this should fail because we haven't actually written the logic to do this yet. So if you run Rails, T, test, models, total, and then go to line 23, this should fail. Okay, so that's good. Now we have a place to work from. And actually, I want to close out of pretty much all this stuff. So I know that we can use a uniqueness scope here. So we can say, like, validates user, and then do uniqueness, and then pass in a scope of range and starting on. But in order to do that, I'm pretty sure we have to add like a foreign key, a unique index on both columns in your data. Okay, so this right here, if I were to go in, let's just see what even happens. If I go into total, let's just do, this probably is not going to work. So validates user, and then we'll just do uniqueness, and then scope. And then if we did, I think we want to do both. So starting on and range. And I'm not even sure if that's the right syntax if you want to pass in multiple, but we'll find out in a second. This test probably won't even, okay, so nothing actually happened there, which is good. Although I'm surprised that actually didn't throw an error. Oh, what did I do here? Oh, we don't need that. Okay, so that's still failing. I'm actually going to try and validate its uniqueness of, let's just give this a shot. And then I'm just going to straight up copy this line here. So user, and then scope would be starting on and range. Validates uniqueness of is probably just a shorthand for validates uniqueness, but I just want to use this since it's like directly in the docs. All right, so that's still failing, which is kind of weird to me. I thought it would like throw an error, but that's okay. So let's do, now we need to add a foreign key, and maybe that's the reason why the test is failing, because this just doesn't work. So let's do Rails generate migration, add foreign keys to totals. And this will just be an empty migration file. And I'm pretty sure strong migrations is going to have us make some amendments and extra migrations for this, but that's okay. All right, so we got our migration file here. I'm just going to go in here and copy this. So you want to add, this should be totals, and this should be, so let's see here. This adds a new foreign key to the author ID column, the articles table. So I think we can just do starting on, or maybe do we want to add an index or a foreign key? Maybe that's the real question here. All right, so I'm looking at this again, and it does say you must create a unique index on both columns. So I'm actually not going to do foreign key. I'm going to do index. Let me just find it here. So add index. So it would really be totals and starting on. I think the foreign key is more if there's two tables that you're trying to kind of connect in a way. But like the starting on only it exists on the totals table. And actually, the more I think about this, add foreign keys. You know, let's delete this because the name isn't right. We'll go ahead and just run the migration, but instead of add foreign keys, let's just do add index to totals. So starting on and range. Okay, let's give this a shot. Rails db migrate. Okay, so we do have a strong migration situation here. Adding a index none concurrently blocks writes, instead use this. Okay, so I'm just gonna go ahead and copy this. Oh, and that's cool, it actually, oh, okay, so I can't just blindly copy this because it doesn't account for the range. So let's just do this one by one. So add that method up there, and then starting on, and then let's just change this to range. So clear this out, run Rails DB migrate again. Let's see here. I wonder if I need to only do one at a time. No, that doesn't seem to be it. I wonder if I copied the information wrong from strong migrations. Let's just see what it says. So this is back to the what it was before. Oh, yeah, I forgot the exclamation point. Sorry about that, but that's okay. This is the kind of stuff that happens in the real world because I'm doing this in the real world. All right, so let's give that a shot. Hopefully this works. Okay, cool, that worked. So let's see if our test passes. So Rails T, test, models, total test. Strange, that's still not working. Oh, haha, that's the problem. It's with my test. I'm not asserting the right thing. Okay, cool. That actually worked, so that's good. Let me just do, sometimes I like to make sure this thing is really working. So duplicate total, let's just do starting on like 1 day from now. Let's just make sure this is really doing what it should be doing. So this actually should be valid. Okay, so that's good. Sometimes it's good to like almost make your test fail if it's passing, just to make sure it's really doing what it should be doing and not passing for the right reasons, or kind of flip it here. But I'll just remove that out for now. That was more of just a test within a test. So what was our last commit message? Reimagine total models. Let's add all this and commit it. And what we'll do here is just add a message saying how we added add uniqueness scope to totals table. I don't know, across user ID, starting on, and range columns. We're gonna quick get status and push that up, and we'll leave it off there.